Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending on what part of the world you're watching us from. I'm excited to be here with you again this year and look forward to tons of donations pouring in. We have a packed program for you this evening. We will start the event with prayers. Board member, Mr. Tunde Freeman, will give the opening Christian prayers.
Let us pray. God's word gives us a chance to give, for it will be given back. In good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. God assures us that whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay them for their deeds. Heavenly Father, God Almighty Creator, O Father Lord, whose way is perfect, our provider, who does not grow weary in well-doing, who neither slumbers nor sleep. To you we come boldly with our thanks and praises for the house of care in Sierra Leone. We are grateful to you, O God, for your many blessings bestowed on this organization, its leadership, the board members, staff, our boys, our patrons, well-wishers, and friends. In your greatness, Lord, and in your bountiful ways of provision, we celebrate. We celebrate in addition to the multiple other blessings and provisions you have made. Time in the new home where staff and residents find comfort. Father, you tell us that whoever is generous to the poor and needy lends to you, and you will repay them back generously. Father, as I pray, I remind all listening and following this prayer, those within the range of my voice, our patrons, donors, and friends, that you have said, whoever gives to the poor will not be in want or in need. Oh God, I pray that they will be attentive and obedient to the call at our time of need. Father, you say, if anyone has the means and resources, and that person sees a brother or sister in need and helps, your love is present in such person's heart. Father, you know our plans to expand, to build a new home that will admit young girls, our long-term goals and our short-term goals. Father, bless those who give, so your pure love will shine in their actions and in what and in them and what they do. Bless this event, O God. Bless our patrons, well-wishers and friends, staff, residents, board members, and future donors who will come our way, O God. Thanks to you, O Heavenly Father. We ask these in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman, for that prayer. Our Muslim prayers will be led by Al-Haji Abu King, also a board member of HOCSL.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يخشى من دوم إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بمن شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يأخذ حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنت من الظالمين حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهب لنا من أمرنا رشدا سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Ya Allah, there is no deity save him, the alive, the external, neither slumber nor sleep overtaking him. Unto him belongeth whatsoever is in the heavens and whatsoever is in the earth. Who is he that intercedeth? He intercedeth with him, save by his leave. He knoweth that which is in front of them and what is behind them, while they encompass nothing of his knowledge, save what he will. His throne includeth the heaven and the earth. He is never weary of preserving them. He is the sublime and the tremendous. Oh God, bless the donors, the executive, the board of directors, and protect them on their job and their businesses. Give them full reward, as you mentioned in the Holy Quran, for those helping and work for orphans. Ya Allah. Glorified be the Lord of majesty, from that which the attributes. Peace be unto those sent to one, and praise be to Allah, the Lord of the world. Amen.
Thank you so much, Alhaji King. Our chairman's welcome address is next. Let's listen to Mr. Samuel Atera Roberts, Chairman, House of Caring, Sierra Leone.
Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Samuel Atera Roberts, and I'm the chairman of House of Caring, Sierra Leone, hereafter referred to as HOCSEL. I want to welcome you all to our fourth virtual fundraising event to inform you of our activities over the last year and to solicit your support in raising funds for the operations and maintenance of the home in the coming year. Since COVID hit the world in 2020, we all must come to live within the virtual world of Zoom meetings and events. We look forward to the time when we can meet again in person to socialize. However, from our last 3 virtual fundraisers, we demonstrated that we could raise more money than any other previous physical fundraising event. So I expect going forward, we will continue with these virtual fundraising events, which provides for a wider participation from our guests and the additional funds raised to operate and maintain the orphanage. With the global impacts from inflation, the cost of operating and maintaining the orphanage has increased. We are therefore appealing to you all to donate generously towards our goal of raising $30,000 this year, an increase of $5,000 from last year's goal. I'm pleased to report that we did meet our goal of raising just over $25,000 in 2023. We thank you for your continued support to HOCSEL. We have a well-packed program to share with you about our 2024 activities and challenges so that you can get a better idea on how the funds you donated to us are used at the orphanage. Our mission remains the same, that is raising funds to provide opportunities, supportive, nurturing environments, and caring services to disadvantaged and needy children in Sierra Leone. We believe that giving them the right start and helping them discover their strengths in early life will increase the chances of them becoming successful and responsible citizens in the future. During 2024, one of the 10 boys was removed from the orphanage at the request of family members. The good news is that we have been able to select a new boy, and he is in the process of going through medical examination and other background checks before HOCSEL takes guardianship and is admitted to the orphanage. We are pleased to have Mr. Abubakar Jane as the new administrative manager at the orphanage. He will be working closely with our matron and staff assistant to run the orphanage, including developing and implementing a plan for each boy to ensure that there will be a smooth transition of these boys when they turn 18. Since joining HOCSEL in May 2024, Mr. Jane, working with the HOCSEL Education Subcommittee, has been developing plans to implement various programs for the boys, details of which will be presented later. During 2024, we had several infrastructure projects, including an upgrade to the solar power system, maintenance-related projects for the water supply system, and various equipment repairs within the home, details of which will also be presented later. These are capital projects impacting our yearly budget for operating and maintaining the home, so your generous donations to the House of Caring are highly appreciated. We have developed a very educative and informative program for you today that will showcase our activities over the last year. I would also like to thank the entire board members in the USA, the United Kingdom, and the advisory board members in Sierra Leone for the work they support the House of Caring Sierra Leone. Thanks again to our donors for all your support, and I hope you enjoy the program. Thank you.
All right. What a warm and inviting welcome address, Mr. Chairman. I would like to begin with the primary reason we are all here this evening. We're here to raise funds for the House of Caring Sierra Leone, Inc., which is an orphanage in Freetown, Sierra Leone, with 10 boys in residence. Our target for tonight is $30,000. I know some of you may think that this is impossible. However, I believe that if we all give a little, just a little, we can reach our target and effect change. The efforts of one person cannot move mountains. It is the strength of all of us working and giving together that can effect change. We are starting off this afternoon, though, with contributions from donors that were made earlier this year, starting in January to date, totaling $8,000. This is a great start. However, we still have a long way to go to reach $30,000. And I am counting on you to make it happen. I would like to introduce the HOCSL story and update for 2024 by board member, Mr. Tunde Freeman.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone, depending on where you are logging in from. My name is Babatunde Freeman. I am a USA board member of the House of Caring Sierra Leone. It is a pleasure for me to present the House of Caring Sierra Leone story, our origin and our future. This is the history of the House of Caring Sierra Leone, otherwise and henceforth referred to as HOCSL. HOCSL was originally formed in 2003 as a component of Mankind United to Save Africa's Children, MUSAC. In 2010, HOCSL obtained legal status as a separate legal entity from MUSAC and was registered in Georgia as a domestic non-profit organization and with the United States Internal Revenue Services as a charitable and tax-exempt 501c3 organization. In 2019, it dropped MUSAC from its name and became the House of Caring Sierra Leone Incorporated. In 2010, an advisory board for HOCSL was inaugurated in the United Kingdom and registered with the Charity Commission for England and Wales in 2018. HOCSL has been registered in Sierra Leone with the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs as a community-based non-governmental organization for a very long time. There are 20 board members in the United States of America, 7 board members in the United Kingdom, and 4 advisory board members in Sierra Leone. Board members in the United States are Mrs. Masire Young, Mr. Melbourne Gaba, Mr. Benjamin Boyle, Dr. Maxam Dixon-File, Dr. Albert Tuboku Metzger, Mr. Samuel Atere Roberts, Mr. Donald Wise, Mr. Percy Johnson, Mr. Adi Thomas, Dr. Mohammed Bayor, Mr. Babatunde Freeman, Dr. Leslie Lee, Dr. Achidin, Mr. Joseph Mara, Alaji Abu King, Mr. Samuel Wise, Dr. Eustace Palmer, Mrs. Marion Richards, Dr. Augustine Smith, and Miss Claudette James. Board members in the United Kingdom are Mrs. Willis Olu-Williams, Mrs. Joy Fraser Amoson, Mrs. Joy Richards, Mrs. Frances Eastman, Mr. Ade Derami, Mrs. Madonna Johnson, and Mrs. Alafia Gabidon. Local advisory board members in Sierra Leone are Ms. Sama Fona King, Mr. Daniel Moijue, Ms. Isa Davis, and Mr. Batiloy Warite. Our approach to supporting our boys in Huxley involves 4 critical areas. They are food and nutrition, shelter and care, child protection, and finally health and wellness. In the area of food and nutrition, we provide each child 3 meals and safe drinking water daily and monitor each child's growth on a regular basis. Shelter and care. We provide each child a safe, stable, sanitary, and comfortable home environment under loving and caring adults. We provide each child adequate, comfortable clothing and bathing, as well as toiletry supplies on a regular basis. Child protection. We protect each child from any abuse, neglect, maltreatment, or exploitation. We provide access to legal protection. We recognize each child's right to freedom and expression. We solicit the opinion of each child in decision making that affects each one's individual life. Health and wellness. We recognize that each child has a right to the highest standard of health. We make every effort to safeguard the physical health of each child. We provide each child access to quality, curative, and preventive health care. And finally, we offer each child opportunities to participate in leisure and recreational activities. In closing, the following short and long-term goals are being developed for Huxley. Dr. Leslie Lee has proposed to set up an endowment fund for a long-term rainy day funding for the operational cost of the organization. This endowment will be implemented over the next 6 to 10 years with the main objective of generating 30 to 50% of the yearly operational budget for subsequent years. As part of our long-term goals, we plan to raise funds to purchase land and construct an orphanage building for girls within 3 years. Huxley board members, in partnership with Dr. Leslie Lee, will provide matching funds for the construction of a home for 6 girls. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Tunde Freeman. It was great to see the faces behind some of the names that I read out every year. Next, we are going to show you what that 30,000 is being used for. I would like to draw your attention to the first slide on the screen that will be coming up on our operational and capital costs for the orphanage. As you can see, it takes money to run the orphanage, and we cannot do this without your help. The estimated educational annual cost per orphan is $2,800 plus per year, including annual costs for staff, utilities, schooling, clothing, and room and board. The estimated annual cost per orphan is $3,000 plus per annum, including all annual operational costs and depreciation costs needed for repair and replacement of all HOCSL assets. 2 years ago, at this time, the orphanage had 5 boys. This year, we have 10 orphaned boys at the orphanage in Kisii. Tonight, we are still trying to reach your hearts with a story that is unique to these 10 boys in Kisii, on the outskirts of Freetown, Sierra Leone. We're trying to change the lives of these young boys. If we take a look at our second fundraising slide, you will see, and I'm sure you all know, that it takes money to make dreams like this possible and keep it alive. We will need your help. We cannot do this on our own. You can see on the slide in front of you, which I would encourage you, if you can, to take a screenshot of, that in the US, you can pay by PayPal by using treasurer@hocsl.org. If you would like to pay by Zelle, you use as well treasurer@hocsl.org, House of Caring, Sierra Leone. If you would prefer to pay by Cash App, please use 404-502-8984, $Samuel Atera Roberts. And you can also certainly pay by check by sending your checks to HOCSL 1717 North Decatur Road, Northeast, Unit 119, Atlanta, Georgia, 30307. In the UK, donations can be made to House of Caring, Sierra Leone, account number 41603858. Our sort code is 600104. Bank NatWest. And for our viewers in Sierra Leone, you can pay by Orange Money at 076-385-141 Ramatu Sama Fauna King. And from anywhere and at any time, go to the HOCSL's website and donate using a credit or debit card at www.hocsl.org and click the donate button. Let me see if I have an update. Right now, that number has jumped from $8,000 to $8,850. We are looking for a lot more than that, and I'm counting on you. Accountants and statisticians are standing by to update us on how much progress we are making towards our goal tonight. I will continue announcing this as we move forward with our program. We need your help. The boys need your help. Don't forget to take a screenshot when next the screen is up. All right, next on our program is a video on the restorative policy and individualized education plan for the boys at the house. Policies that were developed by the house manager, Mr. Janet, Dr. Archie Dean, and the education committee.
My name is Archie Dean, and I am a board member for the House of Care in Sierra Leone, and I work with 4 other board members on the Education Committee. Our work is primarily focused on the education of the boys, the 9 boys that we have at the house. I'd like to talk about the restorative program that we have instituted this year with the intention of accomplishing a number of goals here. It remains as a central theme within the board that these boys are raised as well-rounded who can demonstrate these attributes, foster healthy relationships with each other, the adults, the managers of the house, their teachers at school, their peers, each other, and the community in which they live, create day-to-day consistency in the routines at home and school, build strong relationships that will last their entire lives. We want to enable them have sound decision-making capabilities with the ability to make moral choices. We want them to be able to maintain good mental health, physical, emotional, and a deep sense of care and empathy for each other at the house and, of course, at school and in the community in which they live. It is also our goal that they will create an environment that is suitable for learning, play, and joy, with the opportunity to know and love God, Allah for the Muslim boys, through the weekly attendance to Friday Muslim prayers and at church services on Sunday. We also hope that they will become engaged with the expectations we hold for them and be able to understand these expectations and live by them in their day-to-day interactions. We have the restorative program in place for a particular reason. The board decided that conflicts will occur from time to time, and that's inevitable, but how we manage our way through them is something that we needed to give consideration to. And so this year we instituted the restorative strategy as one approach to the holistic program. It is a practice of working with conflict that focuses on repairing the harm that has been done. It is an approach to conflict resolution that includes all parties involved. While the process will vary from incident to incident, a basic structure frames all restorative justice interactions. It is as follows. All involved parties discuss the incident in question. The victim will be allowed to share their feelings with the accused. The restorative practices must provide equal time to each party, as the primary goal is not punishment but restoration. The adults will act as facilitators, in this case the managers of the house, asking open-ended questions to foster reflection. These group meetings are known as circles and are central to restorative justice and practice. Questions posed to the boys often might include, what can you do to repair this issue? How would you feel if the same thing happened to you? How did your behavior impact your fellow house member or brother or another boy? All parties decide on a course of action and work together to carry out the plan. At this point, I'd like to discuss the individualized educational, social, emotional, and moral character development growth plan. We, as a board, knew that the holistic program is incomplete if we did not look at the whole child, their emotional growth, their moral direction and compass, and how this impacted their social and educational well-being. So we came to the conclusion as a board that this will include an understanding of their physical, mental, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual growth. The board recognizes the interconnectedness of mind, body, and soul. It aims, therefore, that the boys will develop knowledge, skills, attitudes of mind, and moral character needed to reach their optimum potential, so as to ensure that in adulthood they take advantage of the opportunities they encountered and the resources that may well attend to the challenges and opportunities they confront. The house manager and the matron are primarily responsible for completing this plan. It is an ongoing process, and it involves the collaboration with the teachers at their schools, the religious leaders at the mosque and at the church, and of course with the coach who's responsible for physical education. More critically, the plan must be completed with the consent and collaboration of the boy. Let me discuss the education aspect of this plan. The managers will teach a structured way to use goal setting to motivate the boys and help them reach their own goals, empowering them to envision success and develop a plan together. The house managers will teach the strategies that allow the boy to follow more than one pathway to a solution, to help them understand the different perspectives and help them consider multiple meanings and make shifts between the main idea and the details. We record their grade in every subject, and perhaps make a note or two about their capabilities if they are underachieving. And with the boy, we will also record what challenges they confront. I'd like to discuss the social and emotional aspect of this plan. We understand that young people typically will develop in multiple ways, but youth development, education, health, and social and emotional skills are definitely essential to learning and life outcomes. And so an aspect of this work will be the managers recording aspects of their social aptitude and skills, emotional aptitude and skills, and their growth development, logging on for our record so that we can work on these issues, the challenges, and making the boys fully aware of the goals that are set for them. I have talked about the athletic program. The athletic program is a good one as far as we can tell. But we know the benefits of physical education are not limited to physical well-being. They extend to mental health as well. So we are hoping that this work that we're engaged in will care for their physical health, their psychosocial health, and their mental health. We've introduced board games, and the reading sessions are part of their routine as well. And these board games are helping them with critical thinking skills and problem solving skills. We, as a group, definitely know this, that our work is made possible through you as patrons contributing to the financial needs of the program. Our goal is to raise well-rounded boys who demonstrate these attributes, foster healthy relationships with each other, with the adults who care for them, their teachers, their peers, and the community in which they live. Create day-to-day consistency in the routines at home and school. Build strong relationships that will last their entire lives. Ensure sound decision-making in the moral choices they make, individually and as a group and as a family. Maintain good mental, physical, and emotional health with a deep sense of care and empathy for the members of the community in which they live. Create an environment suitable for learning, play, and joy, with the opportunity to know and love God, love Allah, through weekly attendances. And we hope that your work with us, your contributions to our work, will sustain through time. We thank you most profoundly.
Thank you for that informative presentation, Dr. Dean. We hope that with these policies and plans that have been put in place, will help the boys to engage and have agency in their own behaviors and self-discipline, and help them transition from the home when they turn 18 and have become adults. Next in our program, we have a video showing participation of HOCSL's local advisory board members in Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel Ataya Roberts, and I am the chairman of OXEL. I'm doing this narration on behalf of Mr. Jonathan Adi Thomas, USA board member and the chair of the committee that coordinates the activities of OXEL's local advisory board in Freetown. The local advisory board was formed in 2019 and comprises of 4 trusted, effective, and reliable professionals selected by the USA and UK board members, and includes Ms. Sama Fona-King, Mr. Daniel Mwaje, Ms. Isa Davis, and Mr. Batiloy Worate. The local advisory board members are chosen from Sierra Leonean, American, or British citizens who permanently are resident in Sierra Leone. Each member is elected to serve for 24 months and approved by USA and UK board members. The local advisory board members helps the organization provide as proximal and as nearly current in time and oversight to the employees of the institution, and protect the best interest and welfare of the children and the effective management of the home's resources. This process includes, but not limited to, alternative, monthly, unannounced visits to the institution, access to monthly expense accounts, assessment of the living condition and welfare of the children, unrestricted access to each child without a staff member being present, necessary visits to the home at the request of the OXEL boards, providing a written report to the OXEL boards through the chairman after each visit. The local advisory board members must be commended for the excellent job they have been doing. The next slide shows how the local advisory committee in Freetown supports the operation of OXEL. This slide shows a recent visit by 3 local advisory board members to the home, Ms. Sama Fona-King, Mr. Batiloy Worate, and Mr. Daniel Mwaje. The slide also shows the manager, matron, and staff assistant of the home together with the boys, who are looking very happy and healthy. This slide shows the manager of the home, Mr. Jane, and the matron, Mrs. Kumba Ingauja. This slide again shows our 3 local advisory board members during their visit together with staff members. This slide shows USA board member Dr. Archie Dean and local advisory board member Ms. Isa Davis visiting the orphanage. This slide shows USA board member Mr. Jonathan Adi Thomas and ex-local advisory board member Ms. Eva O'Reilly visiting the orphanage. This slide shows Ms. Sama King's visits to the home during Christmas of 2023, presenting gifts to the staff and the boys. The key point from Ms. Sama King included the following: Christmas is a time for celebration, and the OXEL board wants them to enjoy the festivities. The board has approved the Christmas gifts as a sign of appreciation to the staff for the work they are doing, and that they continue doing the work that they are doing. The board always looks forward to updates presented by the local advisory board members from their unannounced visits to the orphanage. After the presentation of monetary gifts to both staff and the boys sang a Merry Christmas song. Let us now hear from our local advisory board members.
Hello, my name is Sama Fona-King. I am one of the advisory board members for OXEL, located in Freetown, Sierra Leone. I've been a board member for a few years, and it's so important to have the local board members because we actually have the opportunity to visit the orphanage, to look and see what is going on, and we report to the US-UK branch. So what we do here is quite important for the existence of the orphanage. We make unannounced visit to the home just to check and make sure that the caregivers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, as this is very important to Huxel. So each time that I have visited, I've always been impressed. Over the years, the maturity of the boys. And when I do visit, I interview them one-on-one just to make sure and see what's going on. They've always been, I believe, very honest with me, and I look at them to make sure nothing is going on. They look very well fed. They're always clean. And at times, I meet them in groups doing their homework or studying, which makes me very proud to serve. And as a Sierra Leonean, it makes me very happy that Huxel is trying to raise these boys as good citizens because they are future leaders. When you visit the home, they have solar, they have a borrow for water. All the boys have computers. There are times where I had to handle the finances and looking into, going there, making sure there's food in the freezer, there's food in the cabinet for the boys is also very important. The boys do go on field trips arranged by the admin manager. The boys do have someone that comes into the home and they do sporting activities, which is all necessary for the growth of the children. So Huxel is doing a phenomenal job in Sierra Leone. If you are part of this event, if you have a heart of gold, please, we're urging you, we're asking you to please help, donate, and help Huxel continue to invest in these boys. Because I can tell you, they're not only in a house, they're in a home. They have people that love them and care for them, and Huxel is making a difference. So yes, please donate. You can donate via Cash App, via Zelle. You can do a bank transfer. And if you're in Sierra Leone, yes, you can send orange money. So keep looking on the screen so you can get some more information. We do need you, and together we will raise good boys for Sierra Leone and for the world. Thank you.
Mid-July 2024, I had the pleasure to visit the home in my new capacity, where I met Matron Abby, the 10 boys, the new manager Mr. Janet, Alfred, and the security staff. Archie Dean, his photographer and trainer, were also there on that day. The day proved awesome as we engaged positively with everyone, the boys and staff alike. Being shown around the premises by Alfred, seeing the electrical systems in operation, including the solar systems, was inspiring. The boys took great delight showing me round their dormitories, which were all very clean and tidy. I was impressed. Matron Abby is indeed pivotal to the home. Her physical presence, caring motherly nature to each child are excellent qualities to be bestowed in a home for orphan boys in their growth, development, and well-being. Going forward with Mr. Janet being a new manager, he shows qualities that will enhance the development and growth of HOCSL for the future. I am only happy to be seconded as being part of the Sierra Leone team, and definitely look forward to taking a more active and positive role in the future.
Hello, my distinguished listeners. Good day. My name is Daniel Mojoy, a retired military officer of the United States Army. I'm privileged to be one of the local board members of the House of Caring, residing in Freetown, Sierra Leone, West Africa. Over the years, I have visited a home on so many occasions, and I've had the opportunity to speak and socialize with the boys and staff, discuss their concerns and overall well-being. I want to personally thank all our many donors, our board of directors at home and abroad, and the entire staff for their outstanding support and services to the home. Your tireless effort, compassion, commitment have created a nurturing environment, transforming the lives of vulnerable children. Psalms 82, verses 3 to 4, ask all of us to defend the weak and fatherless, uphold the cause of the poor and oppressed. To this, I want to thank you so much for your unwavering support and commitment. Let us keep the candles burning. May God bless us all. Bravo to the house, bravo to the house, bravo to all of us.
Thank you very much for listening.
All right. Thank you to the advisory board members for showing us what they're doing on the ground. And thank you as well for putting out a plug for donations from our patrons tonight. You guys are doing an awesome job. We consider you guys our ears and eyes on the ground. I would now like to introduce to you the HOCSL staff and the Christmas celebration they had at the orphanage at the end of 2023.
Good evening, all. My name is Samuel Roberts, and I am the chairman of the House of Caring Sierra Leone, hereafter referred to as HOCSEL. The operation of the HOCSEL orphanage requires a dedicated staff, considering the challenges managing 10 energetic boys. This presentation is about the staff and what they do on a day-to-day basis to run the home, and I will share with you in their own words about their individual responsibilities. The current staff at the orphanage is led by the administrative manager, Mr. Abubakar Janer, and he is supported by the matron, Mrs. Kumba Inkauja, and the staff assistant, Mr. Jibrila Alfred. We will now hear from the administrative manager, Mr. Abubakar Janer.
Hello, I am Abubakar Janer, Administrative Manager, House of Caring Sierra Leone. My primary responsibility is creating fatherhood relationship with the boys as they grow up in the home. I monitor and supervise the day-to-day activity of staff and provide timely reports to the board. I collaborate with the Ministry of Gender and Children Affairs and partners. Also, I attend coordination meetings for the protection of children in Sierra Leone. I do follow on the education of the boys at school and their family members within the country. I want to say thank you to House of Caring and patrons for providing the day-to-day support for the development of these boys. These boys, over the years, have developed diverse skills that have shaped their behavior as they grow, such as creativity skills, problem-solving skills, leadership skills, social development skills, and emotional development skills that have helped in their interaction with staff and other children in the community. Finally, I am kindly asking you to continue supporting the work of House of Caring Sierra Leone as they raise these boys to become better men in our world today. Thank you.
Next is Matron Mrs. Kumba Ingauja.
I am Matron Abi. I'm the resident mother of House of Caring. My role is to provide a motherhood relationship with my boys, and I love them so much. As a mother, I teach them how to take care of themselves, tidy their rooms, and prepare themselves to go to school. After school, I monitor them. They take their bath, eat their lunch, and have their siesta. After siesta, they wake up for their evening studies at home. During weekends, I teach them domestic work, like sweeping the kitchen, plucking the pepper, pound them, and even cook rice. Finally, I want to thank you, House of Caring, for supporting these wonderful boys. Support House of Caring so that these boys may grow up to be great men in future.
And finally, we hear from our staff assistant, Mr. Jibrila Alfred.
Mina Alfred Jibrila, office assistant, House of Caring. We work for support the manager, for support the matron, support the boys then at the home. Every morning, I dey clean the home, I wake, I pump water inside the tank, support the matron for the cook. Any afternoon, I dey go left the boys at the school, cross the main highway, I take them at the school for carry them at the home. I dey go left the boys there na school, cross the highway, after the school, I dey carry them at the home back. After school, I dey book them uniform, I dey clean their footwear. After, I will iron their uniform for meet up the other day for go school. Finally, I can clean this solar panel. I for say thank you for House of Caring and let this job. Now thank you too.
The staff at Oxhill takes so much pride in creating an enriching home for the boys, and you can see the joy in the picture taken with the boys when they went out on an outing visiting museums and other places this year. Supporting the staff at Oxhill is a 24-hour security company to ensure the safeness of the boys, as we hear from the day and night security staff from Mount Everett Security. We thank them for their service they provide to the Oxhill Orphanage.
Hello, we are Mount Everett Security Agency. Within Nayar House of Caring to provide security agency day and night. We book in movement of visitors and staff. The home is peaceful and calm, and we love working with House of Caring.
The Oxhill Orphanage is located in the Quarry neighborhood of Kisii and ensures that they have a very good relationship with the residents of the area. Starting in 2023, the Oxhill home organizes an annual Christmas party at the orphanage to which the residents of the neighborhood are invited. The next couple of pictures are from the 2023 Christmas party, a very memorable event as expressed by staff, the boys, and the residents of the neighborhood who attended the event. The picture above shows some of the former residents of the home who were also invited to the Christmas party. We now hear from Mrs. Memuna Kanu, one of the residents of the Quarry neighborhood, about her experience interacting with staff and the boys at the Oxhill Orphanage.
Good morning, my name is Mrs. Memuna Kanu. When we are one of the people that will become for that program and this House of Caring. House of Caring, they really don't do a great thing for me in this community. Because they don't make we, even me picking, I get one of me bobo, It been so waiting, but we see, you can't see, you can't jump at this party. I can't see how the mommy waiting and come without him picking and they go. Party day, particular, we be enjoy you. Hey, we really enjoy. Now this coming, people and then they say, what? Now I say, well, now so. We good people in Ghana area, you know, act for no. And we really appreciate you now. And we dey hope for say, we go see more than where we don't pass. We will see more this year than they go pass. So we really appreciate una. We glad for una. We tell una thank you. We tell the people and where they work, they themselves na good people. Then the manager, the matron, Alfred, they are so na.
Well, you heard it from Mrs. Kanu about what a blast they had at the 2023 Christmas party. Well, a video showing Matron and the boys dancing just confirms what Mrs. Kanu told us on the earlier slide. Thank you very much for listening.
Oh, wow. The boys seem to be so relaxed and having fun. I wish I had been invited to the Christmas celebration. I don't know how I got left off the list. Maybe next year. I would like for you guys to take a look at the screen and see donation addresses. Please, I'm imploring. We need the money. Let me provide you with an update on fundraising contributions so far. So far, our viewers and patrons have donated 9,000, hold on one second. 9,950 as of right now. We have a long way to go. We'd like to thank you for your generosity, and we're eternally grateful and thank you from the bottom of our hearts. However, we are nowhere near our target of 30,000. I know the afternoon or evening is still young, and we know that donations will keep pouring in. Again, I encourage you to send donations to the following payment options displayed on your screen. In the US, you can pay by PayPal by using treasurer@hocsl.org. You can pay by Zelle by using treasurer@hocsl.org. House of Caring, Sierra Leone. By Cash App, please pay using 404-502-8984. $ Samuel Atera Roberts. You can also pay by check, of course, by sending your check to HOCSL 1717 North Decatur Road, Northeast, Unit 119, Atlanta, Georgia 30307. In the UK, donations can be made to House of Caring, Sierra Leone, account number 41603858. sort code 600104 at Bank NatWest. And for our viewers in Sierra Leone, you can pay by Orange Money at 076 385 141 Ramatu Sama Fauna King. And from anywhere and at any time, go to HOCSL's website and donate using a credit or debit card at www.hocsl.org and click on the donate button. Remember, we are counting on you. We are counting on you. The money is coming in, but a little slow. So I'm encouraging you guys to please, please, please donate. Give whatever little you can. Every dollar counts. All right. I would like to ask our viewers to take a look at the holistic program that has been set up for the boys at the orphanage, which includes an athletic program. This program not only serves to provide exercise and keep the boys fit, it also serves to create a sense of teamwork and bonding among the boys. Let's sit back and watch the video on this program.
Hello, my name is Archie Dean, and I'm a board member of the House of Care in Sierra Leone. I'm one of 4 members of the board responsible for taking a close look at the education of the boys. So this year, the board decided that we would ensure that the care for these young lives will be such that it takes a holistic approach. This entails doing a whole host of activities that are designed towards ensuring that they have an experience that is informed or that is built on sound education, physical activity, a sense of moral life, which means they receive moral education through the mosque and church services that they attend. We've engaged them in other areas such as art and then field trips to ensure that the education is not coming from a narrow path, which is school alone. In the next couple of slides or slides that follow from here on, I discuss the athletic program as one major pillar of the holistic program. We contracted a coach to work with the boys, and the goal here was a coach who is experienced, Julius Vacchi. He's been their coach now for coming on to almost a year, and he takes them out on a structured athletic program which entails conditioning and then soccer or football as we know it in the UK. And this has allowed the boys to really enjoy not just the conditioning, but to engage in a set of cardiovascular activity, of physical activity that will help them grow well. We wanted them to experience regular fitness as a routine because we know that it helps them improve their overall physical health, promotes their cardiovascular fitness, strength, flexibility, and coordination. The regular participation in their sports, definitely, and this conditioning is aligned to what we typically do, which is to give them the once a year physical check. And in September, when they conducted the physical check on the boys, it came with a clean bill of health. We also know that the structured activities have been especially good for the boys in ensuring that there's an outlet for their energy. It has helped to relieve their stress level, contributing to a better mental health, and we are receiving consistent reports about how well they sleep, and obviously how much they look forward to these physical activities, literally every week with Coach Vaki. We know that socially as well, this particular set of exercises have allowed them to be socially and socially bonded, in the sense that the interactions with their peers in a context that is different from how they typically are at home has helped to develop their social skills, particularly in the areas of teamwork, cooperation, and their communication skills. We notice that they're a little bit more self-confident, and this is a growth path, so we're still discerning the results of this experiment. But so far, we are hearing about how confident they are and how much the physical skills are transferring into their ability to be decisive, to give commands when the games are on, and to follow those commands. And so, all in all, the sports have encouraged a setting whereby these young lives are beginning to learn important personal skills such as forbearance and determination, and a sense of strong willingness to participate, even though sometimes they may not always be in the mood. In terms of their motor skills, we know that in fact the boys are a little bit more dexterous, they are physically fit, and this has helped with their sense of discipline. And obviously, none of this can happen outside of the context of them having a sense of fun and enjoyment for what they do. And we know that this really helps them to become young men who love what they do. And I'm told, and the board has been informed reliably, that they typically would ask if Coach Vaki is coming, especially when the hour draws close enough for them to go out and engage in the sports. Overall, the athletic program has played a critical role in the holistic development program that we've paid a close attention to this year. It has been a really huge lifesaver for Matron. In her own words, she communicated this to the board recently, and I quote, "I am now free to take care of the house chores uninterrupted and rest as the boys are engaged for almost 3 hours in constructive physical activities. When they return, they're usually very hungry, so they eat well, and the next thing they want to do is to rest. A good sleep is always the routine for these boys." And Matron Abi also said something like, "I praise God for this program, and I thank the board for it."
Thank you. These slides give us a glimpse into the holistic care and development of the boys at the home. As you can see, the boys have a dedicated coach for their training and physical development. We hope this program keeps thriving. We will now watch a video of the boys on a field trip visiting a museum.
My name is Archie Dean, and a board member of the House of Caring. I'm one of 4 board members who are responsible for paying particular attention to the education of the young men, the boys. Our work here is really just making sure that they have not just exposure to good literature, they're good in their numeracy work, they do a bit of artwork and all the rest of it, but ensure that their whole development is one that is brought to our attention, cared for, and managed in ways that can support their growth in a rounded way. We did arrive at the decision that they will take the boys to 2 museums in Freetown, the National History and the Railway Museums. And the task here was to ensure that they will be out of the house for a whole day field trip. with the manager of the house, Matron Abi, Mr. Janet, the manager, and of course, Mr. Alfred, the general assistant. The goal here obviously was to ensure that the boys will benefit from just seeing historical artifacts such as a railway car or the engine of it that was a part of our history some many years ago, back in the 60s and definitely in the 70s, early 70s. It provided an exposure to a different set of technologies for the boys to explore a period in time that only their parents perhaps even remember, and it hopefully would develop in them the sense of critical thinking in the questions they ask and in the artifacts that they were examining. We uniformed them in blue t-shirts, and they all appeared quite happy, as you can see from this particular photograph, to give them a sense of belonging one to the other, and they definitely enjoyed the day out. At the museum, of course, a specialist guided them through the various stations, showing them exactly what they were looking at and what function it definitely served during the period of railway engineering in Sierra Leone. While they were there, we allowed them to ask questions, of course, based on what they were seeing, and read as much as they could, and where explaining was required, either by the specialist at the Railway Museum or by Mr. Janil Matron Abi, those explanations were provided to them. Here we have one of our sons at the house examining the railway engine, and you can see from this experience that this might be something he's never seen. And this was the exact purpose of this, or one of the intended purpose of this particular field trip, to give them a sense for what engineering and technology of the time looked like, felt like, and what it was made of. Later on, they went to the National History Museum, and this is a sculpture of Baibure. And of course, you can see there are other artifacts in this photograph mask, where some of the other artifacts they were able to see. There were historical photographs with captions. There were lengthy explanations of what those photographs were trying to convey to them. We got them to do a lot of reading on that day, reading historical information and providing explanations to them. We are told that, in fact, at the end of the field trip, the boys were not just full of joy, but they had more questions as they traveled, and they were able to explore those questions with the adults that chaperoned them. The Bonds Island photograph or plan here that they could see, miniature of the plan, was one that allowed them to raise questions about how the landscape was definitely designed. This would have allowed them to explore not just history about Sierra Leone, but also about the British presence in Sierra Leone. What we hope that they will gain from this particular field trip on that day was both the historical, social, and the cognitive growth that we're aspiring to achieve with these young men as they grow in the house. And of course, it would be pertinent to make reference to Dr. Eastman's work in 1957, who established this particular museum, started with a few artifacts, but have now extended into so much else, all of which allows us to revisit our history and provide some sense of context to how we've traveled through time on that particular patch of Earth.
Thank you very much. It is obvious that with the field trips that are being organized for the boys at the orphanage and visits like the one we just saw, they aim to fill the gaps that may exist in the educational landscape right now in Sierra Leone. It is refreshing to see that these boys are being exposed to some of their history and a bit of engineering, like at the Railway Museum, outside of school, which other kids may not be exposed to. We now move along in the program to a video that showcases visitors to the orphanage in the past 12 months.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Sade Atara Roberts, and today I'll be sharing this presentation to highlight the visitors at the Hoxsell Orphanage in 2024, including hearing exciting information about their involvement and their support of Hoxsell and how it felt visiting the boys in the orphanage in 2024. In 2024, there were several guests that visited the House of Care in Sierra Leone Orphanage, hereafter referred to as Hoxsell. The visitors included family members of board members from the United States and the UK, board members from the US, a group of Sierra Leonean students who were studying in Ghana who came across the orphanage while touring the neighborhood, as well as staff from a new orphanage that recently opened up next door to the Hoxsell Orphanage. The list of all of our visitors are listed on the slide here. The largest group of visitors we had in 2024 came from the extended families of Dr. Albert Tuboku-Metzger and his wife Kathy, and also Mrs. Frances Eastman from the UK and their children and grandchildren. This huge number of visitors, totaling about 17 people, spent a couple of hours at the orphanage and brought lots of goodies for both the staff and the boys in the orphanage. Dr. Tuboku-Metzger interviewed the boys and encouraged them to do well in school, as education is going to be the key to ensuring a successful future after they leave the orphanage. Here you can see a photo of our very own Dr. Tuboku-Metzger and the boys with their bright eyes and smiling faces. And here we have Mrs. Frances Smith smiling with the boys. Here we share a photo of the Tuboku-Metzger and Eastman families, all posing and smiling with the boys with their peace signs. Here we show a short video clip of Dr. Albert Tuboku-Metzger giving a pep talk to the boys and encouraging them to do well in their studies, considering all the facilities that have been provided to them, including a new house, solar power, and water supply from a borehole. He offers to the boys the question, "What do you think you are all here for?" Several of them respond, "For education, sir, to learn, to educate ourselves." And he asks them, "How might you do that? How do you learn?" And they say things like, "By paying attention, by studying hard." And he offers to them that they could play all the soccer that they want, but every day they have to study. And as they're growing and learning that they have two main objectives, is to sit and pass their primary school exam and to pass the JSS exam to go to secondary school. He leaves them with the charge to focus on their education in order to have a better future. Let's listen in.
That's everyone they talk to asking a question. It's a way to think all day. It's like what do you think? Huh? What education? Okay, what do you think? Education. What do you think? Huh? What do you think? Education. Well, you don't know what thing are there for. So the first thing that we want for learning do education. So how we now go do education? What do you think? Learning. Okay, so to educate yourself, you get for life. And how you go down? Huh? You pay attention, you study.
Next, we'll take a look at this video clip of the boys having an impromptu soccer game. Next, we'll show a video from a group of Sierra Leonean students studying in Ghana who stopped by the orphanage and presented gifts to the boys.
So, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Here, the House of Caring Orphanage. Board members, we have visitors from KK. Okay, students from Ghana. They come donate things to the boys. But we don't open yet the cartoon. Waiting the day. Mina Kumba Abiodu Christiana Karuja, matron of House of Caring. So you are welcome to House of Caring.
Here we're showing a group of the boys who received the gifts from the Sierra Leonean students who are studying in Ghana who stopped by the orphanage, and many of their treats that they brought for the boys. Here we have Mr. Melbourne Gabber, a U.S. board member who visited the boys in 2024. In this photo, Mr. Garber, a USA board member, is visiting with the boys and met some of the former residents of the previous home that was a rental property, and seen here with the security guard and Alfred, a staff assistant at Hoxsell. And here we have our next USA board member who visited with the boys in 2024, Dr. Archie Dean, seen with the boys here in their fashionable orange polos. A new Oasis church and orphanage named the Oasis of Living that will have up to 50 boys and girls just opened next door to Hoxsell's facility. They made a visit to Hoxsell's facility and were given a tour of the facility by the staff. Hoxsell plans to have a good working relationship with them to share lessons learned from operating the two facilities that are right next door to one another. So next, we'll hear a selection of videos from several of our visitors who came to the Hoxsell Orphanage in 2024.
Hey everyone, it's Akin and Tamu, and we just wanted to share about our experience visiting the House of Caring home in Freetown, Sierra Leone in May. It was a great experience. It was great to see the boys, a lot of love, a lot of energy. We had a lot of fun with them, cracking jokes, playing soccer. So just really great to just connect with these boys, and just encouraged us to continue to just support and give to this organization, because we could see the impact it's having on these young lives. And the house is fantastic. I know many of you have given to help build that house, which I know was built several years ago, but it has everything that the boys would need. Great environment for them to learn, grow, and thrive, and they're doing just that. So that was encouraging, and hopefully we can go back soon.
Yes, definitely want to go back, and you see where your donations are going, and I would just say double it up, because it's working. Our family thoroughly enjoyed meeting the boys, and it's easy to love them because they are being loved, and it's evident. It's definitely, you can feel the love in the home. The host mom is doing a great job. The staff, it's very clear that they care, and I would just encourage us to keep giving.
All right, thank you everybody.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Blakely, and this summer our family had the amazing experience to go to Sierra Leone and visit the House of Caring, and it was just wonderful to see how all of the efforts over the years of the House of Caring board, the donations that our family has set in, how much of an impact that has had on the lives of these boys. They seemed healthy, they seemed happy, they seemed grateful for having the opportunity to live in a safe space where they could have food and a sense of community and family. And so just, it was really touching to see. And I just want to say thank you to everyone, because I don't think unless you see it, you can really know how much of a difference you're making.
Hello everyone, my name is Frances Smith. I am the daughter of Albert and Catherine Tudoku-Metzger. And in May of this year, I had the incredible opportunity to visit Freetown, Sierra Leone with my entire family. This trip was truly special for me, not only because I was able to experience the beauty of the country where I was born, but also because I connected deeply with my family roots. One of the most memorable moments of the trip was visiting the House of Caring Orphanage. I'll never forget the joy in the boys' eyes as they opened their backpacks filled with school supplies and treats. Their gratitude was heartwarming, especially when my father shared encouraging words about the importance of hard work in school and the value of perseverance. You could see how much they appreciated his message. While Freetown is rich in beauty, culture, art, and stunning beaches, it still faces significant challenges like corruption, poverty, and overcrowding. The boys in the orphanage need our support. I invite you to join me in making a difference in their lives. Your donations can help provide essential resources and support to these deserving children. Thank you for your kindness and your generosity.
And lastly, we just like to say a huge thank you first to you all for your attention, but also in advance for your continued donations to the Hoxsell organization. We really hope today that these messages, videos, photos provide even more evidence as to how much your donations could be impactful for these boys' lives and their futures. And we hope you all will continue to be supporters of the organization as it continues to grow and support the next generation of Sierra Leonean boys.
Thank you for everyone in those videos, for all the wonderful comments that they made and that you just watched. Rather than simply recounting what their visits were like, yes, I know they did that. This video is a testament to what is going on at HOCSL and what impact your donations are making. The boys are doing well and are thriving. We can't ask for more than that. With these video clips, you can see firsthand what a difference living in this house has made to these boys. Education is always emphasized at the house, as we can hear from Dr. Tudoku-Metzger's charge to the boys. These boys are thankful. They are thankful for the home being provided for them, for food on the table, as well as the education being provided to them by House of Caring. Remember, though, that giving is not just about donating. It is about making a difference. And I am certain that a lot of you here with us will do so today. Help us make a difference in the lives of these boys who will be future leaders of tomorrow. As you can see again on the screen right now, it's displaying donation addresses and where you can donate with as much money or as little as you have. Not only would I recommend that you take a picture of the screen to use as we move forward, but you can also go to the chat. There's a link in the chat that gives us all these donation options of PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, paying by check, and so on and so forth. Okay, please take a screenshot of the screen. All right, moving along, I would like to present our next video, which will help portray the role of the Ministry of Youth and Social Welfare, as explained to us by Mr. Bao.
Hello everyone, I greet you all. My name is Daniel Bakbao. I'm Assistant Director from the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs. I bring greetings from the Honorable Minister. I bring greetings from the Director of Children's Affairs. And I want to express my thanks and appreciation on behalf of the Ministry for House of Caring, because House of Caring complements the government's effort here in Sierra Leone They are registered with the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs. They provide services for vulnerable children in need of care and protection. And we have been in strong collaboration because in as much as the House of Caring complements the government's efforts, and the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs, as per our mandate, to lead in the development and implementation of policies to monitor and provide services or oversight for children and women-related issues, and also to respond and prevent issues affecting women and children. So we have been in strong collaboration with the House of Caring because they normally participate in most of our coordination programs and advocacy events. And the House of Caring, in complementing the government's efforts, have been providing several services for vulnerable children in need of care and protection. For example, alternative care services like shelter. They are providing education, they're providing food, they're providing medical and recreation as well for most of these vulnerable children. And all of the children in the facilities of the House of Caring are orphans. We all know Sierra Leone is a vulnerable country, and most of the children, sometimes because of their parents, of these socio-economic issues, the children don't attend school. So the House of Caring has been so instrumental in supporting these children to go to school so that they can become the good future leaders of tomorrow. So I want to encourage everybody to work together to support the House of Caring so that it can be a sustainable development for our children in Sierra Leone. Most of those children there are vulnerable. So I want to encourage everybody globally to support the board membership of the House of Caring so that most of those support can filter down to these vulnerable children that are in the facility. I want to thank you all, and then I want to say thank you to the board members and the entire staff of the House of Caring for your good work that you have been doing. Once more, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bau, for helping us better understand the role of the Ministry of Youth and Social Welfare and its relationship with HOCSL. The board would like donors to be aware of capital projects implemented in 2024 that affected HOCSL's annual budget. We will now watch a video on infrastructure updates to support fundraising, replacement of solar, and maintenance of the water system.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Samuel Ateye Roberts, and I am the chairman of House of Caring Sierra Leone, hereafter referred to as HOCSL. The funds from HOCSL's annual fundraiser are used for both operational expenses and for other periodic capital expenditure that are typically associated with the maintenance of both the home and equipment in the home. These equipment include the solar power system and the borehole-based water supply system. This presentation is about the infrastructure upgrades that have been implemented or are being implemented at the HOCSL facility in 2024. The solar batteries installed with the solar system in 2020 had to be replaced in 2024 due to a combination of factors including battery age and high temperature effects within the solar room that reduced the lifespan of the batteries. As shown above, the new batteries installed are lithium-type batteries that have a longer lifespan, can tolerate heat better, and have a 15 years warranty versus the 5-year warranty from the previous deep cycle batteries. There are also now 2 new inverters integrated with charge controllers that allows for monitoring of the solar system from anywhere in the world via a Wi-Fi connected system. Additional solar panels were also installed as the electrical load at the orphanage exceeded the assumptions made when the solar system was being designed in 2020. The picture above shows the new solar power equipment on the left and the old solar power equipment that was replaced on the right. The new roof with improved insulation on the solar room is also shown. The cost for this project was $20,200 and was funded by Dr. Leslie Lee, USA board member. Thank you, Dr. Lee, for your generosity. The borehole and water treatment installed in 2020 also required some maintenance after continuous operations for over 4 years. These borehole systems typically require maintenance every 2 years. The maintenance tasks performed are summarized above and included removal and replacement of the pump that abruptly failed a week before maintenance was scheduled. The borehole was also chlorinated after water quality testing was performed on the borehole water. The cost for this project was $2,000 and was funded from Oxil's funds. Starting about 3 weeks ago, maintenance and replacement projects started at the home with the replacement of various electrical, plumbing, and carpentry assets, including sinks, toilets, and locks for gates and doors. The cost for this project is $1,700 and is funded from Oxil's fund. I hope these updates provided gives you, our patrons, an idea of what your funds are used for, including operating the home and performing annual maintenance tasks required to keep assets in good operating conditions. Thank you for listening.
I'm sure you all heard Mr. Chairman tell us exactly how much it took to replace those solar units. It cost money. I would now like to give an update on fundraising contributions on the platform so far tonight. All right, so far we have raised $10,850. $10,850. I would like to continue to appeal to you, our donors, to please give and give abundantly. No amount is too small, for it all adds up. Remember, the journey of 1,000 steps begin with the very first step. Accountants are still standing by, so go ahead and donate. Take a look at the screen. You can take a screenshot of it to keep, to donate much later. There's also a link of the chat on the chat group where you can send in messages. You can also find the same information on that chat. All right, for right now, I need you to understand that when you make a donation, you're not simply donating to solar maintenance, maintenance of the water system, or sustainability of the entire HOCSL program. But most importantly, you're contributing to enrich the lives of 10 boys in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Now, let me go ahead and introduce you to one of our executive board members, Mr. Percy Johnson, who is going to introduce our humanitarian award for this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Percy Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon if you are in America or Canada, and good evening if you are in Freetown or London. I am Percy Johnson, an executive board member of HOCSL, and my task here is to present the recipient of our 2024 Humanitarian Award. This award is given every year at our fundraiser events to a patron who has shown continued support and contributed immensely towards the fulfillment of our humanitarian mission. This year's recipient has been supporting HOCSL since its inception in very many ways. As a very young man, he assisted with the planning and execution of our fundraising events. I remember him assisting with setups and serving patrons when we had our in-person HOCSL fundraising dinners prior to 2020. This very young man, who is still a young man, with an admirable family of his own, is Mr. Akinsop Tuboku Metzger, the son of a pillar stone of HOCSL, Dr. Albert Tuboku Metzger and Mrs. Kathy Tuboku Metzger. Akin, as he is fondly known, is the Chief Financial Officer for Enterprise Technology Operations and Corporate Functions, which is referred to as ETOF at the Truist Bank. In this role, he is responsible for guiding the strategic direction of the ETOF team and collaborating closely with executive leaders across multiple business units to achieve their financial goals and strategic objectives. With over 20 years of experience at Truist and its predecessor organizations, Akin has held numerous leadership roles. Most recently, he was head of consumer products, payments, and analytics. In that role, he led a team focused on delivering innovative insights, lending, and deposit solutions. His previous roles also include head of wealth strategy and performance management. He was also head of corporate trust and escrow services. He was director of balance sheet strategy and chief financial officer for consumer lending solutions. That's quite an achievement. Each year going back many years, Akin has made very generous donations to HOCSL, and he has had his employer do matching donations. Akin is a dedicated community leader, serving on the board of Sheltering Arms and several other non-profit organizations. He holds a Bachelor of Business Administration from Emory University and an MBA from Georgia State University. He is also a graduate of Advanced Leadership Program at Emory University's Goswete School of Business. Akin lives in Dunwoody, Georgia, with his wife Tamu and their 3 lovely children. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my esteemed pleasure to present this year's Humanitarian Award to Mr. Akinsop Tuboku Metzger on behalf of HOCSL board members. Congratulations, Akin and Tamu.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Percy. Tamu and I are humbled and honored to be given this recognition of the Humanitarian Award. We've had a long history with the organization. This organization has been and continues to be a beacon of light, not only in the Sierra Leonean community, but in the world. It's an exciting time for the House of Caring, and we believe the future is very bright. We've always been very impressed with the commitment of the board and the impact this work is having on the children. This really came to life for us when we visited the children's home in Freetown, Sierra Leone this past May. We felt the family-like atmosphere for the boys, and we could see how happy they were. The staff and the house mother are doing an amazing job. This atmosphere and home with everything the boys could want or need just didn't happen. While the donations from many of us help, the reality is that this board plays the most important role. The countless hours of planning and focus are invaluable labor of love. So we'd also like to say a big thank you for the board's leadership and commitment. It's having an impact on these young boys' lives, and I believe they will grow and develop as a result of this support and opportunity to have a big impact on the Sierra Leonean community and the world. We are blessed and honored to contribute in some small way to this effort and the vision of this organization. Our commitment to House of Caring is stronger than ever. So again, thank you for this honor.
Thank you so much, and may the Lord continue to bless you all and this organization.
Thank you so much for that response, Mr. and Mrs. Akintubo-Kumetska. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our fifth and final update on fundraising contributions so far. Let me see if we've made any progress at all. Last I heard, it seems like we're still at $10,850. This is great, but we're not there yet. Please do not forget to give. Simply follow what we have on the screen and the chat with all the information on making donations. Keep in mind that if you donate, God will richly bless and replenish your pockets. But more importantly, if you donate, then I won't have to come back and implore you to donate. The boys are depending on you. As you can see on the screen, these are the various ways you can donate. If you decide to donate later, after tonight, nothing has changed. The payment methods are still the same. Remember, you may want to take a screenshot of the payment methods so you can donate later. We are counting on you. Remember that in a world that is full of despair, we want to give hope. A world of kindness is what we want to provide the boys. A world where they can go to school and dream and aspire to become someone. A pharmacist, a lawyer, a musician, president of the nation, a professor, and so on and so forth. And lastly, to end our program tonight, I would like to introduce to you Mrs. Marion Richards, a board member of HOCSL, to give the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Marion Richards.
Hello, everyone. I am Marion Richards, a House of Caring Sierra Leone board member based in the United States of America. As a guest, it was always a joy to participate in this annual fundraiser. But as a member of the board, I now have insights into the operations and realize how impossible it would be to manage this organization without the support it gets. So it is indeed a privilege to be asked to give the vote of thanks. Let me start by thanking all our guests who in diverse ways have supported us. I hope you found the experience worthwhile and the narrative compelling enough to make you join us again and again and again. The fact that you chose to be a part of this event is an indication that what HOCSL is doing is worthy of your attention. Your gifts in cash and kind go beyond imagination. Your words of encouragement motivate us to do more. Personally, the stamp of success on the work we do was evident when one of the guests at a recent fundraiser asked me if she could be considered for adoption. Now, this was from an adult. But those words said in jest were an accolade to HOCSL. This recognition resonates with the goals of the organization, none of which would have been achieved without you. I say a big thank you to everyone. Thanks go to the House of Caring Board in the USA, the UK, and the Advisory Board in Sierra Leone for steering us in the right direction, especially the team in Freetown for your timely intervention in matters at the local level. Yes, technology has reduced the lapse in time and distance between us, but nothing caps the face-to-face presence for results on the ground. For your work, I say thank you, thank you. Collaboration, philanthropy, and empathy breed a common ground for success. This we see in the relationship with Dr. Leslie Lee, Dr. Dennis Suskin, and the staff of the Gwinnett Neonatal Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. Over the years, you came together and raised funds to build a home for 10 boys, and you have contributed to its management since. The boys live in a loving and happy environment under the direction of Mr. Abubakar Janeh and care of Matron Abi. They are ably supported by administrative and security staff. Words are inadequate to show our gratitude for your service to these children. Please know that we value your contribution to their lives and ultimately to the development of our society. To all the boys, I encourage you to continue with the progress you are making. Grab the opportunity you have been given and chart a path of success for yourselves. Thank you, Mr. Bao of the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs in Sierra Leone, for your diligent work. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's presentation was made possible through the combined efforts of the virtual fundraising committee. Special recognition goes to Mr. Denzel Georgestone for producing the event, Dr. Joy Taylor Roberts, who graced the occasion as MC, and the narrators who shared the HOSL story in such a powerful way. In all of this, we must not forget the dynamic and astute chairman, Mr. Samuel Atera Roberts. Mr. Chairman, HOCSL is fortunate to have someone like you at the helm. The energy you bring to this organization is infectious, and I assure you, no one will be taking any vaccination against it. Thank you from all of us. And to everyone, once again, I extend a deep sense of indebtedness.